Okay, folks, we're going to get started. And I thank you for being here this evening, especially with the heat. I don't know where the other folks are. I hope nobody melted. But on my front porch, it was 105, which is extraordinary. Usually on the weekends it rains, and now we're at 100-degree temperatures. Anyways, I want to welcome you to the June 24th meeting of our Tricentennial Committee. We're at the halfway point. I want to thank ECAT for covering the meeting, and certainly Steve Shaw for hosting it here at BFW. It was Fred that brought to my attention that he doesn't have air conditioning, and he had to put fans on, and sometimes when the fan's on, it's hard to hear anyway. So, yeah, Steve Shaw was flexible enough to make the change. So here we are. I didn't want to cancel the meeting. We do have a quorum. We got 5 voting members. I count 5.
1, 2, 3, 4,
1, 2, 3, 4.
No. So we have 4.
Short.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, you're not. You're not.
We just can't vote.
Yeah, we don't. Which means we can't vote on anything, but I think we should have a discussion, a recap. We want to follow the ground rules of the town. And maybe somebody may still show, and if they do, then we can vote on certainly the financial part, which would be the bills. I did want to thank both Karen and Tom for picking up our dinner for the meeting. Certainly, I'm going to give a shout out to Joe at Bill's Pizza for being terrific. I also wanted to let you know that Corey's here. He's at a veterans meeting right now, but he's going to be coming in shortly to talk about the parade. There's a lot of things that I think we can talk about. How about the voting members that are here? Have you got sworn in yet? I know we have to be reorganized again. It'll take us to June 2026. I know Ken is away, but he signed in. Did you sign in, Dale? Yeah.
I just got the email last week.
You've got till July 1st to sign in
June 30th.
and get sworn in. July 1st.
Oh, I thought it was June 30th.
Well, the appointment is in June, but you have to get sworn in by July 1st. It says on the document. I did want to mention that certainly appreciation and recognition is in order. When I think of what happened on Flag Day, June 14th, it was absolutely terrific. It's not just the fireworks, it's the flag ceremony and the community picnic. And Jessica Zimmerman, you did some things above and beyond the call of duty. And we want to put our hands together and thank you. Good.
I couldn't have done it. Dave really did step up to do a lot of things that were beyond my pay grade. So Dave and Dale, they really stepped up and helped as well. And Ken, you are amazing day up. So thank you. Everybody was amazing.
And when you stop and think about what I'm hearing in the community, maybe you folks are hearing it too, that it's one of the best fireworks displays that we've had. And I've thanked the fire chief in many different ways for taking the leadership role. And of course, Captain Green, who was there, they made sure it was safe. And when you saw 3 finales, somebody from another town who runs fireworks said to me, "How did you ever pull that off?" They were kind of shocked. 3 fireworks displays. And for the benefit of the folks that may be watching on camera, not only did we have, yes, you can have a piece of pizza. That is all. Okay. I did want to say that, talking to the fire chief and the American Thunder, they gave us the $35,000 fireworks display for $24,900. And they went overboard, and of course, they gotta be thinking that maybe the community wants to have them back next year. That was part of their thinking, and that's okay. We lucked out, we got a terrific fireworks display that people, not only was it a good display, but the place where we had it, it was like open, wide open. And sometimes you go to fireworks displays and you have to look around the trees to be able to see what's going on. But it was absolutely terrific. And the flag ceremony, not only did Adam Gunn do his part, but he played the part by dressing up in his uniform, and he looked sharp. People wanted to have their picture taken with him, including myself. I just thought his uniform was absolutely terrific. But to see, and Dale and I talked about this, to stand back and to watch the community holding 3 giant flags was kind of special. When you think about our theme, bringing families and community together, that's exactly what happened with those flags. And it was very appropriate, it was on Flag Day. And in spite of the weather changing, every hour we had a different forecast, and I think we spent a lot of time checking the weather report, but we pulled it off, folks. And we're on a roll. I'm not talking egg roll, I'm talking about the fact that every event we've had has drew terrific crowds, and people have been happy. Go ahead, Fred.
Let's not forget Alex Pyres, who paid for the fireworks.
He certainly was thrilled. From what I understand, I'm not sure where he was, but the word got back that he enjoyed doing that and coming back to his community where his roots were. We also thank the Bank of Easton. They certainly have come through in all kinds of events that take place in the town. And we're going to find a way, a giant way of thanking all of the sponsors. We've done it on the air. We've done it personally. But the fact that they came through with the donations, and I think Courtney can tell you, there wasn't a lot of trying to convince them or talk them into it. They feel comfortable doing it, and this is their community. So what's coming up next? We have what I think is going to be a giant parade. It may very well be the largest parade that the town has had. And right now we have 6 divisions, and that includes the fire departments from other towns. You're going to take the lead, and of course there are a number of reasons why. For safety reasons, in case they get a call, their towns will have to take the apparatus back to their community. So it makes sense for them to be out front and to alert all those residents that might be sleeping at home that there's a parade downtown when these fire engines come down with their flashing lights and their sirens. It's going to be, folks, the town of Easton is celebrating their 300th anniversary. And again, don't stop praying. We certainly want to have good weather, but this parade is going to go on rain or shine. It has to be a tornado or a hurricane. I hate to mention those 2 words for us not to have the parade. We're looking forward to it. Next Saturday, we're going to be training volunteers who are going to be working the parade. We have 5 key captains who will be trained first. You've got to train the leaders before you train the volunteers. And we're going to be lining most of the parade on Center Street. Ken and I drove the route so many times that we could do it backwards, but not today, Ken. The fact is that the captain's going to make sure that people line up in the parade. And thank you, Diane, for coming up with 20 volunteers that are going to hold the banners in the parade. I know she's going, what? The fact is, she does know about it, and I'm sure she'll come through, and if you don't, give me a buzz. You know where I live. next door to you.
While we're at it, Dave, can I say thank you to all those young people that came and gave their time? And they were really sweet. A couple of boys I did not know Patrick and Maximus, but I knew all the others. And, so they said, when is the next one? So my granddaughter made a text chain, and it's called Nana's Gang. And all the boys signed in. So I've got this text chain with all these 15-year-olds.
They're a great.
Yep.
Really great.
They're good
They
kids.
were, it was great.
Yeah, they're good kids.
Now, we also have the senior class of 2025. Originally, it was going to be 35 that were going to carry the flag. And once we passed out the blankets, we now have 50 seniors who are going to be in the parade. My understanding is going to be 100 alumni from Stone Hill College who are going to be in the parade. And we have a special dinner going on for the alumni after the parade. So we're going to have numbers, folks, and I think I said before, there's going to be maybe 1,000 people that will be in the parade. And certainly, I think there's going to be lots of people watching. Bring your families. A special announcement I'd like to make on camera to the folks that may be watching. And I say this because I want to make sure that there's no misunderstanding. And I've heard from around the community that there may be folks out there that feel that the town is paying for the celebration. It's been mentioned already, but I want to clarify it, that the celebration committee, and right now there's about 35 to 50 of us who in some way are involved in the celebration. It's all donations, it's sponsorships that are paying for the celebration, and folks in the community that have made timely contributions. And of course, it's very clear that none of our expenses are in the town budgets. We even pay for the services that the town has to provide. And I say to folks out there that may be watching that we as a committee are excited about the celebration. And we're excited about ECAT covering all the events. But I think it's nice, person to person, if you could go to the events and actually bring the families down. Bring your neighbors down. Maybe there are neighbors that you haven't talked to in years. This is the time to meet and greet them and to come together for the celebration. So I wanted to say this as well, that what does the town do? I want you to know, folks out there, that there's a tremendous sense of cooperation from all the town department heads to make it work. We couldn't have fireworks without using a facility, and thank you, Oliver Ames School Department and the school committee and superintendent for making that possible. We also thank the department heads. You can't have a celebration like this without town employees involved. When you talk about public safety and large gatherings, you have to make sure that we have the appropriate support. So enough about my little soap opera. I wanted to share that with the TV and to the folks out there that may be watching. We're excited about the celebration. We thank all the sponsors very much. And we'll have signs at all of our events that will recognize all the sponsors, from the person that donated as much as they could to the small child that may have donated their piggy bank to make this celebration very special. So, Rob, would you do me a favor? Would you go out and see if Corey's available to give us a report on the parade? The next item that I'd like to talk about is the time capsule plan. We left that in the hands of our select board member, Craig, and we're going to ask him to, now that town meetings and all the things are over with, he can get together with the board and pick and choose a special date, whether it be at a select board's meeting or it be at another function. We want people to see what was actually buried on the bank of Easton. Not underground, it's been in the vault, and it was planted during the 250th anniversary. Well, that ends our meeting. We thank you all for being here. Oh, let's get back to the parade.
I'm cooling down.
Corey, I was just mentioning briefly, they know the date, the time, the place. It's right around the corner. It's our first signature event at the halfway point. We're on a roll. Corey knows that. I think I saw 100 emails from him in the last couple of days, so he's on top of it. He's got a good committee that's planning and preparing for this celebration. He has with him tonight his secretary, Roz Miller, and of course, my Linda has been helpful with the parade lineup. And I have a copy tonight, and I sent some of the members a copy that I want you to look at. It's going to be a giant parade. So go ahead, Corey, take it over.
All right, thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody. It's a lot cooler in this room than it is in there, so I'm glad to join you. Yeah, so as far as updates, you all know the basics. We've got a good flyer put together here with some of the info, but I wanted to just share, some information that might not be so clear with the flyer. So again, July 12th, if you're in the parade, you should plan to arrive at your assigned location about 9 a.m., no later than 9:20, 9:30. The road, Center Street's going to be closed shortly after that time, between 9 and 9:20, I would say. So you should plan to be in your assigned spot. We're going to have portable restrooms located at the beginning, middle, and end of the parade. We're going to have water stations that accompany each of those locations. And we're going to have people making rounds, checking on folks, make sure we're in somewhat of the assigned order. There's divisions, so we have 5 divisions plus 1 informal division of first responder vehicles from anywhere in like 30 communities around here, so however many vehicles that might be, we don't know, but it should be a great turnout. And again, just to highlight, sponsored by the Haynes Group. We've got many other local sponsors that picked up the tab on some of the bands, floats, and other smaller groups that are joining us as well. The Aleppo Shriners, the Clydesdales, and again, many bands traveling, some from out of state and many out of town to be here with us. So again, if you are participating in the parade and you are, let's say, walking or riding on a float, you can park at Center School. We'll have someone there directing you where to park. And then you can walk across the street, or there's shuttle service if you're far down across the street on Center Street. And you'll know where your staging location is if you're a participant based off of our participant guide that I sent out, and we'll send out again to our 110 participants. So and that's 110 groups. So any of those groups, some of them have 20, some have 50, some have 5 people. So it's going to be a large parade, and steps off at 10 a.m. Additionally, if you're just a spectator for the parade, you can park anywhere along the side streets along Center Street, or you can park at the Oliver Ames complex near the soccer fields, and we'll have a shuttle service bringing you back to Center Street. Probably drop you around the DPW area, or shortly near, one way or the other, and you can disperse from there. For neighbors that live in the area, we'd encourage you to just walk to Center Street if you're able to. And then just obviously just remind people to follow all traffic laws, park with the flow of traffic, do all that good stuff. And yeah, don't get any parking tickets to come enjoy the parade. But we encourage all to come out. And let me see, I just have a couple other notes that I wanted to share. We'll have a review stand at the DPW that'll have 2 gentlemen announcing. Was it Brian Hoffman and Dan Anderson? 2 gentlemen will be announcing each group as they go by, and it'll be nice. They'll give a little commentary between the floats, and there'll be a DJ. They'll be acting as a DJ as well to play music when there's no bands coming by, and it'll be a great day. We've got a lot of supportive folks coming out as well. Let's see, I believe at the last couple of events we've had the sensory tent from House of Possibilities. They'll have a table set up to loan out hearing protection and offer other resources, because they're going to also have a float in the parade. So that's a nice addition at the DPW. Yes. Yep. We said water stations. We're good there. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the parking, so, and I'm getting many questions about how you get back to where you started, right? So you can either walk, the parade will disperse, it'll take a right onto Main Street at the Rockery, and we'll begin to disperse at Pond Street. Some vehicles will just continue off down Main Street and ride off into the sunset, others will turn onto Pond, some may turn onto Sullivan, or turn onto Pond and come back out Sullivan and go back up to where they started Center Street and drop folks. We're gonna try to organize people so that if you need a ride back, you get dropped off at Pond Street, and shuttle buses will pick you up around that area to bring you back to Center School where you parked, or Oliver Ames if you were a spectator. So it all seems to be working out up here, but we'll see how it goes. We've been meeting every week now for the past few weeks. And we got a lot of people doing a lot of hard work. Roz, Dave, our parade marshal, Dave Clifton, and co-parade marshal Linda, doing a ton of work. Ken Wood, plenty of folks are really chipping in on this, and it's a huge group effort, and it's a lot of fun. So please come out and enjoy the parade. And I think that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Where can we have
Hands
our
fly. Yes.
Our
Where-
merch tent.
Your merch tent. What's the merch tent?
Oh, like all the Tricentennial.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
T-shirts and stuff. Like
Yeah,
where
where would be good for you? I think the
Somewhere that-
DPW, I think DPW would be a nice spot,
Okay.
center. I think the Rockery, maybe at the turn.
Either way.
You could be at the, I don't know if you wanna set up at like the gas station or something, like Sundel's or something, or if you wanna set up at, you
Do you
wanna.
think most of the people are gonna be on Center Street? Is that where that's gonna be?
Oh yeah, I think most spectators will be on Center Street near DPW. We're gonna have bleachers set up there, so
All right, then maybe
might be a
that's-
good spot.
So while I was planning the picnic, I had vendors with peddler licenses reach out, and they were also interested in the parade.
Yeah, I saw those conversations. I defer to the town, I defer to the larger Tricentennial committee on that one.
You can't stop it, so.
Oh, yeah, so I
But
just-
they're gonna have carts walking up and down Center Street, and they want a table, so it's up to you guys where you wanna place the table for novelties. So
Yeah.
that they want carts and a table.
If they have a state license, they can
That's
sell
right.
in the town. If they decide to sell but go on town property, that's a different ballgame, and they have to have permission to do that. But it happens in every parade, they show up for selling balloons and the kids love it. It just comes with the parade. People that you didn't expect know about this parade, they won't be there.
Yeah, so
I also want to say you had a question.
Yeah, Corey, how
Yes.
can we as a committee best help you guys get to the finish line? For example, coordinating with our website team for getting the word out. I know you have this flyer here. Are there other things like, are you guys doing any kind of know before you go kind of thing that like Jessica did that you'd like us to get out?
Yes, so I contacted Casey last night about a know before you go, gave all the bullet points, document, like all the information, just make it look like the rest of them, just so we all look like we're on the same team here. And we'll have that thing ready by Friday or end of day Monday. So that's still a good couple of weeks
So
out.
if you distribute it to the committee,
I
to
will.
make sure that like Sally, John, and Mike get it and help them put the word out, and also the social media posts and
Yep.
things like that.
And the town, I think the town will also help get the word out,
Yeah.
so if we email Shanta,
Yeah, I've been talking with
Town
Sean.
crier, plus we also have the suburban shopper that's gonna run one very shortly on the parade, similar to what we had a year ago.
Is the school department available to send out another?
Parent
email?
Square is still active, so I don't know if the school department is available, but we all have the apps. So currently enrolled children, like, if they post something, it'll come up.
So we should reach out to them again with the same thing, because they have about 3,000 Easton email addresses for people in the school
Yeah,
system.
the school said they sent the flyers with the kids. My kids didn't come home with
No,
flyers.
no, they didn't, it was in Parent Square. So that's what we're talking about. So there was no flyer sent home, because that would be wasteful paper.
You didn't send anything?
Rick Davidson is the one that's gonna coordinate that.
I'll show it to you.
I have Parent Square.
Yeah, so in Parent Square, Livia Ramos, you definitely got it,
Okay.
yeah.
You may not know it, I mean.
I'll ask my wife.
Yeah.
She's the boss.
I also wanted to mention, there are two documents that Corey talked about. One is a 7-pager. We're all gonna get that tonight, an email, and it's gonna say subject to change, because people keep calling Linda. When they call the house and I answer the phone, they wanna talk to Linda. But the fact that she's putting together the stuff for Corey, and it gives an idea of what's in the parade. We haven't got all the floats in one division. We have bands in different divisions. We have floats in different divisions, so that there's some continuity. I think you're gonna get a kick out of it, and at the end of the document are all the ground rules. You can't throw candy off a float, and you can't do this or that, but you can have a good time. There's gonna be some good things to say that you can do. But, and these photos that you're gonna see in the beginning of each division, they're actually in that division, the vans. The last vehicle is gonna be a police cruiser. The fire chief's gonna lead all the public safety vehicles in the first group that goes out. At the end, it's gonna be a police cruiser, and before the police cruiser is gonna be a decorated, award-winning hay wagon ride that's gonna carry this committee and some of the parade committee members that like to join. There are seats on it. There's gonna be a sound system on it. There's gonna be a microphone that Dale is gonna talk on.
You're in trouble now.
And the only other thing is, there's gonna be, the ECAT sound system is gonna be located at the end of the parade. When I get out of the convertible, I'm gonna be thanking people as they come to the end of the parade. And maybe there's a possibility that there's gonna be some music there as well, because I'm expecting there's gonna be a huge crowd in the center of town as well. And we've talked about this at parade committee meetings, that we want the parade to go through Main Street. Because there were a lot of sponsors that gave towards the celebration. There was some talk about us turning off before we went down the street. The sound system is gonna be at the monument across from Farmer's Daughter. And when I see you folks pull up, I know we've reached the end of the parade. So it's an opportunity for Dale, myself, and the two announcers at DPW to thank the people who have contributed, people who are in the parade, and the only other thing that you're gonna talk about tomorrow night is we have to give a notice to the folks on Center Street to make sure that they know that we have a parade, and that we may be coming down your street in terms of parking and all that stuff. So, we have a meeting Thursday with the police chief, the fire chief, the chair of the parade, myself, and we're gonna, I don't know if you're available, Dale, you can join us. It's Thursday at 9:30, and it's gonna be at the chief's
conference room.
conference.
Yeah, please.
Any questions? Go ahead,
Go
Dale.
back brief here.
Can we bring our muskets?
Yeah.
Actually, do you think I should ask Chief Boone
Yeah,
first?
I mean, we'll figure it out. I think you should be okay. Do you actually have muskets?
We do have one or two that we might have.
Yeah, I think you should be okay.
I'll reach out to Chief Boone first.
Yeah, you probably should do that, yeah. But they have, Legion and VFW, they bring the rifles as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Marty, you come on through.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, just
So
watch
yeah,
the boards here.
that'll be great. They'll let you,
Dave, watch that microphone one right there.
I'm looking at some faces I haven't seen before. I thought you all got recruited to the.
We're recently enlisted, how's
No,
that?
no, there you go.
There's some pizza there too if you're hungry on the way by. So.
If your meeting falls through, come back and join our group.
hey, good sir, how you doing? Good to see you. We're right in here. I'll be right in there in 1 second.
I wanted to see you, so you should say hi.
You'll see me, I'm here.
That's good.
Okay, anybody else have questions of chair of the parade committee? We thank you and your 12 to 15
Thank you.
people for pulling this together.
Thank you guys.
It's going to be an exciting parade and day, no doubt about it.
Dave, do we have one more committee meeting before then? Before the parade itself? Is that Tuesday before the parade? We'll have a meeting here?
Outside of that, we're rock and running. The next item that I'd like to bring up is a new event, and I passed some out at your tables. And I know some people. Let's give Corey a round of applause for.
A little late on that one.
Good job, Dave.
Well, that was Linda.
There's a flyer on your table, and I know people have said to me, are we still organizing events? But this was a difficult one to pass up. And I'm talking about Easter night at the Brockton Rocks. We have a date scheduled. It's June 16th.
August.
I meant August 16th, and it's fireworks night.
Oh, that's the night before Jacksonville.
It is the night before the bike race. But we have free tickets to anybody who lives in Easton. Take your families to Campanelli Stadium. We are going to have somebody, a student, who's going to sing the national anthem at the park. Unfortunately, they're going to give me the microphone to say a few words prior to. And I'll keep it brief because they told me I only have 2 or 3 minutes at the most. We have 4 people that are going to throw out the first pitch. The chair of the select board, the vice chair of the select board, and the vice chair of our committee and the chair. Dale and I have been throwing baseballs for the last 2 weeks, getting ready for it.
In our colonial wear, mind you. It's not easy with those buckles, you know.
Or you're wigging your hat, they stay on, yeah.
What we're working on, folks, we're gonna do a 60-second clip that's gonna go on the screen. And thanks to ECAT for finding something that we can put on the screen for the people that attend the park. It might be something like Happy Anniversary, Town of Easton, 1725 to 2025. And we're thinking of the possibility of working this out with the park. The first 300 people that attend will get something special. Maybe a baseball, could be a hat, and it might just be for kids who come to the event. I wanted to find out how you folks feel about the idea, but we don't have a quorum, so we can't vote on anything this evening, and we'll follow the rules. But it'll be kind of a fun night out. There's a couple of ways that you can get tickets. You can go online and do it electronically. We're going to have about 500 to 1,000 tickets that we're going to pass out to families. Gail is going to go house to house from 12 midnight to 6 in the morning with 1,000 tickets.
Just like Paul Revere.
I thought this would be a good idea, thanks to the Brockton Rocks for opening up the door. And the guy that really has taken the lead in this is Joe Petty from the town. So Joe and I met a couple of times. We talked about it. We come up with a plan. He is thrilled that we had one meeting and I come back with a plan. So we didn't have much time to think about it. The fact is, we got a plan, and the Brockton Rocks are excited about it, and they want to open up the doors to the town of Easton that night. So we want to get as many people as possible. We're thinking about some other ideas. I was thinking about getting a couple of kids to run the bases during the 7th inning stretch, carrying the town flag and our celebration flag. But we'll keep you posted on that, and we'll vote on it at the next meeting. How's that sound?
If I could just add, I think one of the really nice things about doing that is it sort of extends the welcome, from Easton to the surrounding community, and I think that ought to be a theme of it. It's sort of, we're there in Brockton, and we're a neighbor of Brockton, so it's kind of a nice thing, I think, for sort of extending the welcome mat to a broader community.
And of course, Brockton is a city of champions. But I also want to mention to you, I've been talking to Stonehill College about putting a banner up on the Washington side of the campus. A banner that they will donate. It's a large banner that will say, Stonehill College salutes the town of Easton on their 300th anniversary. And they're gonna put that up so that people will see it. We certainly haven't missed any spots. We've got signs all over town. I think it would be a nice thing for Stonehill College to do that. I know Amanda and Anne Marie, the president of Stonehill College, is going to give an official welcome at the gala coming up on December 27th. So we're excited about that as well. The next thing on the agenda, some people have to leave early to go to a meeting. Community calendar, Sally, anything you want to say? You and
It's
Dale?
in pretty good shape. I'll be moving putting more information on the parade and moving that to the homepage, because that's the next big signature event. And then, also I almost missed the concert series that's happening. So if anyone, could just look at the calendar and see if there's any, anything missing, because that one should have been obvious. Because I probably put over 50 events on the calendar, so, things could slip through. So if everyone could just look at the calendar and make sure nothing's missing if they're involved in something, that would be great.
The calendar will be the anniversary book. Chris keeps adding things. He's taking pictures everywhere. He's got people writing stories. And it's going to be something that everybody's going to want to have a copy of. And we say that to the folks that may be watching, that if you've got any ideas or suggestions, please contact some of our community members, or certainly contact our webpage.
Dave, Sally's done a really nice job.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It really is nice. And
It
it's
is.
becoming like the go-to thing for people
It
to
is.
look at what's going on in Easton during the year, and the way you guys demarcated the signature events and the visual, it looks very nice. It's clean, and you click on to get more information. So thank you.
Yeah, and many of the things that are on there don't have like a flyer, so, when these become available, people should remember to give it to them so they can include them.
Yeah, I actually have to run, but for those, when you're done with the meeting, if you're interested, they're having a meeting at Frothingham Hall this morning till 8 o'clock about Easton's master plan. It's the planning for what to do about the overall planning goals for Easton, including open space and things like that. So I encourage folks, if you have time after this meeting is done, to stop on over, and they'll probably have some more of these sessions and taking public input, and so on to go to it.
Is there pizza?
So they have pizza now, they're not really as good as we are here. But I'm gonna go do a little rabble rousing over there.
Before we go, Dale, I
Yeah.
wanted to thank Amanda, and I want to do it now because her husband is here. I want to thank them both for making your garage available today. We would have to rent storage areas. It's amazing what you have there. And there's a constant interruption. People like myself going by, have to pick stuff up, or to pick her brain in terms of stuff that has to be done. But we thank you both.
Did you have anything to say on that, or this one?
No.
Okay. You weren't asked.
He was
were you?
voluntold.
While we're applauding Amanda, this would be a good time for her to share some good news about the merchandise. I know that they did a great job at the Flag Day ceremony.
Yeah.
See you, Dale.
We sold like $3,200 in merchandise, which is pretty good. Emery and I have not yet come together to reassess what we have, what we're out of, but we have sold every single blanket that we have. I had like 3 display blankets, those all got sold. So we have no blankets, and the next meeting should, hopefully if we have a quorum, I'd love to vote to order more of those. They're closed the end of this week through like the 1st or 2nd week in July, so we have time. We won't have any for the parade, but we can take orders, and I know they're gonna get popular, especially when we get into the September event and the October bonfire, they'll be really popular. So we definitely got more hats we got in with Easton Community. We also have the logo hat, and they have a new vendor, so the newer hats are just a little bit different. The logo's a little bit bigger, so if anybody gets one of those, they'll notice that. But aside from that, that's all I got.
And volunteer t-shirts.
And volunteer t-shirts, thank you. We need to order some more volunteer t-shirts. We don't have a lot left. We have a handful that I'm gonna give to Linda this week to bring to the next meeting for the parade. But we're gonna need to order more. They just come from Top Tops in town, so it's not far. There's no shipping cost. I can get a quote on that, but we'll probably need a quote on that before July 8th because we have them for the parade. So I guess it's more of a heads up for people that, you know, we don't need a lot, I don't think, but we definitely are gonna need to order some more. So I'll
I
see
was
what,
just thinking of the other events also.
yeah, we have,
25.
you'll probably need a handful, yeah. So I think we'll probably need 100 more. I think that's about what I ordered last time was 100. But I'll go back to Pop Tops and at least get a quote, send it to you and Dale, and then you guys can do with what you need to do.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Amy.
What about the graduate blankets?
Yeah, so the graduate blanket, I gave Ken a few more requests. He was talking to Nancy DeLuca about who else should be getting them, and there are still probably 15 or 16 in my garage. They're in their own little tote, so they're up on the top shelf, kind of out of the way, but they're there if anybody gets a little, oh, I didn't get a blanket, just, you know, there were also good numbers still at the high school, so hopefully those seniors pick them up before they went off to do their summer things and college things and whatever, so, I didn't get any of those back yet, I don't know if I will, but there were quite a few left after doing the delivery of them for 2 days, so, yeah. But I still have like 15 or 16 left, so, if anybody didn't get one in there, for 2025 graduate or somewhere in Easton, let us know. Yeah.
I mentioned it because I do get emails.
Yeah,
And I've got 4 left to deliver. I just
Okay.
haven't.
that's okay, yeah. I mean,
I should come here.
that's, yeah, if they can always come to my house, they will do it, if you wanna just drop, you know, or tell them to come, whatever, so, yeah, we still have some left. Yeah.
What I'd like to do right now, folks, and I consider this to be an informational meeting. I call it a subcommittee meeting because we don't have a quorum to vote on anything, we can't make any decisions. But I'd like to remind you about the bonfire that's on October 11th. It's going to involve a concert and of course the barbecue is going to be handled by the Easton Lions Club. Rob is the president of the club, going to be the immediate past president of the Lions Club. Anything you want to say about that particular date? I know that you're all set with the Roach Brothers.
We'll make it happen. I mean, it's pretty far in the future for, you know, with regards to line stuff because we have so much going on. Yeah, we'll definitely be there. We'll be there early and we'll make sure everything, all needs are attended to.
Whenever the Lions Club president says we'll make it happen, it usually happens. So thank you, Rob, for your participation on this committee. Fred, is there anything you want to mention? You always have a busy place with lots of things happening.
Well, there was an idea, I don't know if John approached you about at the end of the parade, having the veterans come up to the hall for refreshments. So we'd like to offer that. I don't know if she has mentioned that.
It's
She may discuss
going
that.
to come up tomorrow night at the parade committee meeting.
Oh, good. Good.
So, get back to you on that. Most towns always have something, you know, for the veterans. It's something that could be considered. I know the committee right now is so busy trying to run the parade that they didn't want to get involved in refreshments, but we'll see tomorrow night. Anything you want to add?
Well, we'll talk tomorrow night.
Yeah, the hall will take care of the refreshments.
Thank you.
Is there, anybody else have anything? I know Ken is working on the buses for the parade. Yes, we have to transport people after the parade back to where their vehicles are. And yes, we have to transport people who show up at the center school and find out they're in Division I. Well, that's a mile away. You can't say, well, you should belong up there. We have to provide some transportation because not everybody can take their car to the division.
What about electric scooters?
What?
Electric scooters.
If you bring your scooter, I'll use it.
I have a couple. Oh, yeah.
We can't vote on that tonight.
I'll help you out.
We don't have a
Kind of
quorum.
just,
Okay, before we adjourn, anything you'd like to say about the bike race? Where do we stand?
We're pretty well ready to go. Today I just nailed down the hay bales to protect the poles from Hanson Farms. And we're set to go. Oh, could you announce it at the Rocks game that tomorrow there's a bike race in Easton?
We'll do it, but I hope that we can announce it long before that night. Unless people bring their bikes to the park and go right to the bike race. Not possible. Okay, before we adjourn, go ahead, Diane.
okay, I know we cannot vote on anything. Jeanette gave me invoices for approval, which it's too bad we can't approve them because people don't get paid. And we got invoices from the police department for June 14, 10,000, 235.21, and the fire department, 5,000, 416.87. But we can't.
Unfortunately, we can't vote on that tonight. But all the invoices have come in except for DPW.
I don't have to.
And I'm sure that's on the way.
Okay, and the others will just hold up. I'll give this back to Jeanette.
So with that, folks, our next meeting is going to be on the 8th of July. And that will be here at the VFW. On the 22nd of July, after the parade, we'll have our meeting at the Oak Games Memorial Hall. And by that time, it should be down to about 75 degrees.
It'll probably be 110, right?
That's your choice.
We have a TV show coming up on July 1st, and we have our parade on July 12th. So July is going to be a busy month, and in between all that, we'll have 4th of July holiday weekends for folks in town. So again, we remind everybody that we appreciate the efforts of ECAT, Easton Community Access TV, for covering all the events. And we remind everybody that there's a big event coming up on July 12th. So be there, folks. The parade's going to go down Center Street and take a right on Main Street. Thank you for joining us for this informational meeting.